Getting new collectibles is fun, and sharing them with an audience is even more fun. Welcome to Mail Time, where I tape 6 packages bundled into the same genre of collectible, for my personal collection or for my for sale trade box, and I share those pickups with you. These include football, basketball, hockey, baseball, wrestling, Formula One, non-sport related stuff, comics, movies, music, and video games. Let's see what we got this episode. What's up everybody, Frank A's HP Collectibles here with a music mail time. This is my first music mail time episode. Obviously everyone is a big fan of music. Not everybody collects music, but you know, due to the recent interest in bringing vinyl back and using records, as well as me wishing that I had not gotten rid of all my cassettes and CDs when I was in high school. You know, I had started collecting music again probably about 7 or 8 years ago. In fact, I had a bunch of frames in my studio. I had a bunch of framed records in the background. You know, I don't do the framed records thing anymore. I just kind of have them stashed on a shelf at this point. But yeah, I'm still picking up some music whenever I see it, whether it be at a local music store or online or at a big box retailer. Now that of course Target and Walmart and several other retailers actually carry records now, which is wild. But yeah, I've been picking some stuff up and therefore I've got some mail time. So here we are. I'm gonna cover background and then we'll go ahead and get started. I've got some records, I've got some CDs, and I even have some VHS related stuff, which is interesting. So background. Tool's first album, or EP maybe if you want to call it, Opiate. Fantastic album, only 6 songs and a hidden song. I'm a big Tool fan, they are my all-time favorite band. Don't worry, I'm not one of those Tool fans, but I do recognize some of the greatness of Tool and very much appreciate it. So yeah, I have that sealed record there. And then one extreme to the other, Snoop Dogg over here, Doggystyle. So we got Opiate from 92 and Doggystyle from 93. Was not allowed to listen to Doggystyle when I was a kid for parental advisory reasons, and it was pretty obnoxious. You know, if you were a 90s kid, you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, good old Doggystyle. So all right, I listen to a little bit of everything. I'm into hip hop and metal and jazz and lounge and EDM. I'm wearing a Monster Cat hat. So you know, I'm into just about every style of music except for country. I'm not a country guy. I can make one exception for Patsy Cline, but she doesn't really sound like current day country either. Anyway, let's go ahead and get started. All right, let's do music eBay. Music eBay. Whatever that is, we'll find out. Hey, there we go. Starting off with some Tool. So this is the Salival box set that came out, I want to say around 2001, 2002 maybe. Now I have this already in a CD and DVD format. I bought it in high school. And from what I understand, it's kind of rare now. I'm opening it up upside down. It's kind of rare now. And this is the larger version. And it's because it's the VHS version instead of the DVD version. So here's the art book, which I'll cover in a sec. I want to take a look at this VHS. Tool Dissectional. Year 2000. Okay, I was close. What did I say? 2001? Doesn't even have a front sticker. Okay. But no specific labels on the VHS cover either. But box is cool. It's got like the whole red felt look. And that slides in there. And then there's the art book. Now this art book is different than the one that I have for the CD and DVD version because, yeah, so this came without the CD, but it was CD VHS instead of CD DVD, but CD DVD version, the art book had a disc holder on both sides, and here it's only one. So since I already have the CD, I didn't care that it was incomplete. But little art book here, which I'm flipping through upside down, and it's got like a bunch of stills and images from their music videos, some live shows. It's very artsy, as Tool is, so pretty cool. So now I have both versions, both the CD, DVD, and the VHS CD version. So pretty cool. These aren't cheap. I got it for fairly cheap because it was incomplete, but once again, I already have the CD for it, so I don't mind. In fact, I might as well cover this next, music VHS, because it is also a Salivil VHS, but I don't know where. Maybe this came retail. I'm not entirely sure. Here's the difference. Tool Dissectional, also year 2000. It's red. I don't know whether the red one came retail, where you could buy the VHS individually and it was a different color. I don't know, but I saw it and I was like, oh, cool. And it was cheap, so I picked that up too. So there's two of my 6 packages. Let's move on. Let's hit a CD. There we go. There's a CD I like to see. More 90s hip hop. Nas Illmatic, my all-time favorite hip hop album. I think it was 94. Yep, 1994. If you are a hip hop fan and you have not listened to this album, you need to go back. It changed the game. The lyricism quality for Illmatic changed the hip hop game. Seriously. If you go to Google and you type in like greatest hip hop albums of all time, and you see like top 10 lists, almost every single one on the first couple pages will list Nas Illmatic as the top 3, at least in the top 3 of every single list. And many of them will have it listed at number 1. It is my number 1. And I don't really care if that's the popular thing to say or not. I used to know this album by heart. It is absolutely amazing. And Nas is my all-time favorite hip-hop artist. So, you know, what can I say? Very, very happy to have the CD. I already have the record of this, or one of the records of it. It's not a first printing. I wouldn't mind picking up some of the other ones as well, but super cool. All right, so we got metal and hip hop already. Progressive metal, progressive rock metal. I don't really know how to define Tool, but let's mix it up. Let's mix it up with some jazz. I went to Target, so not technically male, but I saw a Target exclusive Miles Davis, Kinda Blue. Possibly the greatest jazz album of all time. Miles Davis, trumpet player. If you've not heard this album, you need to go give it a listen. Even if you're not into jazz, Miles Davis it's really hard to define how Miles Davis plays the trumpet. It has like a rough, obnoxious style to it, but it fits in really, really well with the rest of the music that is produced with it, especially on Kinda Blue. Like Kinda Blue in particular, also known as one of the greatest jazz albums of all time. Not just my favorite, but I mean, he was playing with absolute legends: Cannonball Adderley on the sax, John Coltrane on the sax. I mean, those guys are legends in their own right. Paul Chambers, James Cobb, Bill Evans, all of those guys are absolute jazz legends. And the fact that he got everybody on one album, everybody together to do one album together, is really good. And Miles Davis is just unbelievable on the trumpet. Rest in peace, dude. But yeah, you know what? I actually already had this record, but I had like the remastered version or something, and this is the Target Opaque Blue vinyl exclusive. So I had to pick this up. So now I have 2 sealed Miles Davis Kinda Blue albums. I may sell the remastered one now that I have a more exclusive version. I'm gonna keep them both sealed anyway, because that's what I do. If I'm gonna listen to this album, I'm going to listen to it digitally. It is what it is. If I buy a record and it's already open, like half of my records are open, then yeah, sure, I'll listen to it on a turntable. But if it's still sealed, I'm gonna keep it sealed. All right, moving on. All right, what do we got here? Oh, shoot. Okay. All right, this one's big. And this is from eBay. This is an eBay purchase. Oh, goodness. Okay, you can't tell by the covers here, but this is more Tool. Let's go ahead and take it out. Oh my gosh. This thing is huge. All right, I'm gonna try to show it. I'm gonna have to feature a lot of stuff on the top cam here. This is Tool, and I got this really cheap because there's damage to it. As you can see there on the top, damage right here. But yeah, this is more Tool. So I'm really happy to have. How can I open this up and access stuff here? Let's see if I can get to it this way. Cool. Yeah, I mean, it's open, but I don't mind. I think this makes my third Tool record, and this is multiples. I'm not seeing a track list, but it is multiple records. Yeah, it's 3 or 4. Absolutely beautiful. Had some damage, as I mentioned, so that's why it was cheap. Very cool. Yeah, this normally goes for like, I want to say like $50 to $70, and I think I got it for like 20 bucks shipped. It's got some damage over here as well, as you can see, but once again, it's going to personal collection. I'll listen to it every once in a while. So more Tool. I'm gonna run out of space here covering music just because the records take up so much space. And I have one more. Is this still sealed? I haven't even opened it up. Oh, okay. More metal. More metal. Good old Deftones. Adrenaline, their first album, right before they did Around the Fur, which came out like a year before I started high school, I think. But absolutely amazing album. Here, I'm a big Deftones fan. They are tied for number 2 of my all-time favorite band with Rage Against the Machine. So you kind of see where my metal influence is, primarily starting in early 90s and moving on to 2000s and 2005 and stuff like that. So, but absolutely great track list. I like this entire album. And I mean, a lot of times, most albums, I can just hit play and just let it roll. In fact, like if I listen to what I mentioned, Around the Fur, their second album, if I listen to Around the Fur, let's say I listen to White Pony, their third album, the only one I skip is Change in the House of Flies, which was the radio hit, because I've heard it so many times and it's not as heavy as I would prefer. So, most of the time I will just hit play on an album and just let it roll. I'm not one of those guys to take like a lot of individual songs and make a playlist. I am an album person. I like entire albums, and I appreciate the rarities just as much as I do the radio hits. In fact, a lot of times I appreciate them even more. So I got some great stuff. I got some Tool stuff, I got Deftones stuff, I got Miles Davis, and I got Nas. So I got a little bit of mix of everything. I got some hip hop, some metal, and some jazz. So I don't remember what I'm gonna get from everything. But as I mentioned, I listen to a little bit of everything, so I'm all over the place. And hopefully you enjoyed this mail time. I know it's different. I will be covering more of these in the future because I have been picking up a lot more music. I have 2 more episodes to film, and they will be gapped out over a period of time over the next couple months, but I will be picking up more music as I go. If you enjoyed and you want to see more of my collection, including music, as well as, cards, comics, video games, just a little bit of everything. I am a collector. Check out the Instagram, the Twitter, and the Threads. And I'm on all 3, and I'm pretty active on all. I post 3 times a day, 5 or 6 days a week on all of the above. More of the communication and opinions and stuff is being posted on Threads, so go check that out. Same username, FrankAZHB Collectibles. And even though music isn't covered in particular quite a bit here on this location, if you want to discuss some hobby stuff, so particularly sports cards, non-sports cards, stuff like that, go check out thehobbyboards.com because I am active on there. That's enough rambling. Have a great day. I'll see you in the next vid. Peace.